Hello there, Chris Assis here, and today we're going to be talking about adding new sequences to your dance. So this is something you can also, they don't have to be new sequences or just adding sequences to your dance. There are two things that we need to think about when we want to enhance our dance experience on the dance floor. One is that we need to make a habit out of it. So what happens is that you're now comfortable with what you already know, what you're using. You don't even have to think about some of them. You just go and do stuff. So if you think about your dances, you probably it's very unlikely that you'll be able to say, oh yeah, I did this step and then I did this and then I did this and then no, and that's normal. That's great. You don't want to be thinking every step. You want to be to reach that level of comfort that you just go and dance. So when you have a new sequence, you need to bring it in and make it a habit. So how you do it is exactly the way that you pick up on any habit. You attach it to something that you do regularly. So if you have a new sequence and you can't do that on the dance floor, not on the dance floor, just in your practice. So say you have a new sequence, say the new sequence is a giro, I'm just saying. So you're gonna say in your practice, so after, and if you're working with a partner, you say that to your partner in advance, so they're not like, what the hell is going on here? So you're gonna say, all right, after every 4 ochos, I'm gonna do a giro. I don't know, something like that. So maybe you'll say, oh, after 8 ochos, I'm gonna do a giro, or after this, I'm gonna do that. So you attach it to something that you do regularly. You don't need to think about it too much, so it's not something that you'll probably never do in your dance. And the more important the sequence is for you, you will have to attach it to something that you do most regularly in your dance. So, for example, again, being able to lead a giro is important because it's a fundamental step for the dance, for tango. So maybe it's after 8 ochos, or maybe it's after 4 forward steps, or maybe, I don't know, I'm just coming up with stuff, but attach it to something that you are definitely going to do in your dance, not to something that you do it every now and then, okay? So that's how you build on the habit of bringing a new sequence in. You attach it to a sequence that you do with a lot of comfort. You've done it many, many times, and you do it very regularly. You don't have to think about it, so you attach it to that sequence. So that's level 1. Level 2 is your perception that you have of the sequence is the same. It's kind of different than knowing it. It more has to do with how it makes you feel, how it makes you react to it when you do it. Like when you hear like something in the melody and you do it. So you need here the practice needs to be a little bit different because we need to be very much aware of the footwork of ourselves as leaders and of the followers' footwork as well, because if you don't know where your partner is, you won't be able to enter the sequence unless you stop and start it from the beginning. So as we've said before in a video before, in every sequence we have an introduction, the gist, and then an exit. So if you don't know how to attach that introduction to any other step, if you have to stop and start from the introduction into the gist, into the exit, then you'll always have a break in the flow. So you need to work either as leader leading a leader. So you're going to put yourself into a follower's shoes and be led by another leader. so you know how it feels, and you have a bodily experience of where your partner would be when when you're leading the sequence. Or you can work on your own with a ghost partner. This is a little bit tougher, not as easy, but it's doable, and it is a great mind exercise. So you say to yourself, okay, let's take the gyro example, because it's the easiest it's the easiest one. And say you want to introduce a gyro, and you're trying to think of, okay, what is the common entrance for a gyro? Usually a gyro happens from forward and around. Okay, forward and around. Do the follower step, marking your steps, being very, very aware of where you are stepping during the sequence. You're going to use this map that you're creating now with your feet afterwards, when you're going to be a leader and you're going to be leading that ghost follower through this map. So take the map from your feet into the mind now. Notice here how my body changes from the first side step. My embrace has changed. And then I go into the gyro with a full understanding of where my partner is. It's the only way to be able to plan for the exit, and that's your test. Side, back, side, front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side, front, side, back, side, front, and catch. I know you think that I don't need to do this, maybe because I'm just there to follow. But the thing is, the more prepared you are, the more expressive you can be, because then you can free up your mind. You've practiced on things, you've experienced more things than just a class or just or only dancing. You've practiced on the dance experience, and that will give you some confidence to be able to be a little bit more expressive, listen to the music more, maybe add some embellishments, spice your style up. So it's very good to work on these things too. Plus, especially because we think that I just need to keep my body towards my partner and that's it, I'm just gonna go straight to the feet. When our partner does a new sequence that we don't know, panic attack, because you don't know the feet. So you feel that glitch. I was like, oh shoot, okay. But if you bring the body into the game, if you filter the message that you're getting from your partner through the arms, through the body, and into the legs, then things become a lot more flowy. You can connect better, and you won't get that freezing effect. Even if it's momentary, you won't get it. It will block you. So you won't get it if you actually practice in this way. So the way to do it is leading another follower. So you're going to be leading another follower, or you're going to lead yourself. So you two, you're gonna get into your embrace and make your body lead your feet. Notice how my body here is not just, standing still, focusing at the center of the movement, which would be my ghost leader. It is leading me through each transition, each step, each pivot. It is participating and it is dancing along with my feet. It will give you a better feeling of connection, and it will ease your mind from overthinking all the details. This is an especially important skill to build on for the dance floor. So basically, in this last part of adding new sequences or connecting sequences you already know, or remembering sequences, that is all big part of this second element of this video. You need to have a very clear understanding of the movement, not only on your feet if you're a follower, or only on the upper body if you're a leader. You need, as dancers, to have a very clear connection between the upper and the lower body through movement. So if you do that, you already, as a leader, you already knowing the steps, knowing where your partner is, every step of the sequence will allow you to either change a sequence you already know, create something new, or bring another sequence in. That's the only way that you can free your mind up and bring new things in. If you don't do that and you're always waiting to see the reaction of your partner, to say, oh, all right, now she's on her left foot. Oh, okay, then I can do this. Too late. It's never going to happen, or it's going to take a long time. So practice so you will know ahead of time where the other person should be, so you can plan ahead a little bit. Then, as followers, you want a surprise to be always pleasant. So a new sequence is always a pleasant surprise, unless you freeze. So if you freeze and you tense up, you're thrown out of the moment. So, and then we lose this feeling of comfort, of freedom and movement, and that spoils the moment. So you might be having, I'm sure you've been there. You might have been having a great dance, and suddenly it's like, oh, it's like a little shock, like it brings you back to the real world, and that's never fun. If you are able to react with the body and know that your body is there and is listening, is grabbing all the details of the lead, taking it down to the feet. Yes, of course, it's possible that you'll make mistakes. Obviously, everybody does. That's how you learn. But you're more connected, and you're enjoying the dance more, and it's highly likely that you are going to at least get where your partner wants you to get. Maybe it's not the perfect step. Maybe it's not looking great, but you're at least going to get there, because your arms are grabbing the details from his arms or her arms, and they're taking it into the body, and then the body, it's taking them down into the legs. So it's highly likely that you're gonna be where your partner wants you to be. Maybe it's not the perfect footwork, but at least you're there and you are connected. So work on these things to give yourself the opportunity to introduce new sequences into your dance. And if you want, and in order to actually get there and have those things, have these new sequences on the dance floor, you practice on the sequences themselves, trying to make them a habit first. So again, attach them to a strong anchor. A strong anchor is another sequence that you always do, another step that you always do all the time. Find how you can merge the two together and practice them as consistently as possible. And that's it. Have fun and enjoy the process. That's the most important part.